During dark times, it's often when we truly discover what our faith is made of. Those moments challenge us to grow, to reflect, and to strengthen our beliefs. This truth applies to everyone, even those who have spent their lives inspiring and guiding others. Joel Osteen, the senior pastor of Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, the largest church in America, and a renowned author, has dedicated decades to spreading messages of hope and faith to millions worldwide. A lot of people don't realize it, but we often invite negativity into our lives through our thoughts and words. Joel frequently reminds us to take control of our declarations, saying things like, "I'm blessed, I'm strong, I'm healthy, I'm talented." But now, Osteen himself faces a moment of deep personal testing, a shocking, heartbreaking event that challenges his own faith like never before. What happened? Stay with us to learn the details of this unimaginable incident. Early life and the foundations of a ministry. Joel Osteen is a name known across the globe, celebrated for his weekly televised sermons and best-selling books. But before we delve into his recent heartbreaking news, let's take a closer look at his journey, one that began long before he became one of the most prominent Christian leaders of the modern era. Born in Houston, Texas in 1963, Joel was one of 6 children in the Osteen family. His parents, John Osteen and Dolores Pilgrim, played pivotal roles in shaping his path. John Osteen, a Southern Baptist pastor, made a bold decision in 1958 to break away from traditional Baptist practices. A year later, he founded Lakewood Church, beginning with a humble congregation in an abandoned feed store in Northeast Houston. Growing up in this environment, Joel was exposed to the world of ministry from a young age. He graduated from Humble High School in 1981 and later attended Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he studied radio and television communications. However, Joel didn't complete his degree. Instead, starting in 1982, he took a behind-the-scenes role at Lakewood Church, working as the producer of its television ministry. For 16 years, Joel dedicated himself to perfecting the church's media outreach. While his siblings and in-laws were active on stage, preaching and participating in services, Joel was content staying in the background. He directed cameramen, adjusted lighting, edited sermons, and even helped his father choose his wardrobe for Sunday services. Week after week, he carefully tracked every detail on a yellow-lined notepad, ensuring the broadcast met the highest standards. A reluctant preacher finds his calling. Despite his growing expertise in media production, Joel never imagined himself stepping up to preach. By his own admission, he was the shyest of his siblings and lacked the confidence to speak in front of a crowd. His father, John Osteen, had encouraged him countless times to preach, but Joel always declined. That changed in January 1999. John Osteen fell gravely ill and required dialysis. For the first time, Joel agreed to deliver a sermon in his father's place. Tragically, just 6 days after that initial sermon, John passed away. Joel later described this period as one of profound shock and reflection. In an interview, Joel shared, "After my father died, I felt this unexpected desire to step up and address the church. It didn't make sense. I hadn't gone to seminary. I'd only preached once. But I felt a calling, and I knew I couldn't ignore it." Joel took on the role of senior pastor at Lakewood Church. It was a daunting task, stepping into his father's shoes with little experience. But under Joel's leadership, Lakewood underwent a remarkable transformation. The rise of Lakewood Church. Joel Osteen's approach to ministry was distinct. While honoring his father's legacy, he focused on expanding the church's reach through modern media. One of his first major moves as senior pastor was to double the church's television budget. He secured primetime slots on major networks, targeted the largest media markets, and invested heavily in advertising, including billboards and other promotional avenues. Within a few short years, Lakewood Church grew exponentially. Its weekly television broadcasts reached households in over 100 countries, becoming one of the most watched inspirational programs in the world. The church itself moved to a larger space, the former Compaq Center in Houston, a massive arena capable of seating tens of thousands. Joel also gained recognition as an author. His 2004 book, Your Best Life Now: 7 Steps to Living at Your Full Potential, became a bestseller and solidified his place as a leading voice in modern Christianity. In 2005, he embarked on a 15-city tour across the United States, preaching to packed stadiums and connecting with audiences on a deeply personal level. A test of faith. Joel Osteen's life has been defined by perseverance and faith, but recent events have presented him with one of the greatest challenges he has ever faced. While he has spent decades encouraging others to trust in God's plan during difficult times, he now finds himself needing to draw on those same lessons. What is this heartbreaking news? How will it shape Joel Osteen's journey moving forward? As he faces this trial, one thing is certain: his faith, which has been a guiding light for millions, will be tested in ways unimaginable. Stay tuned as we uncover the details of this unfolding story and explore how Joel Osteen's unwavering trust in God continues to inspire hope, even in the face of adversity. Large crowds gathered at nearly every stop during the year. Lakewood Church made a monumental shift. In 2005, the church opened its new 16,000-seat mega sanctuary in Houston's Compaq Center, a former basketball and hockey arena. The transformation marked a turning point for the congregation. Weekly attendance at Lakewood skyrocketed, growing from 6,000 in 1999 to more than 50,000 by 2016. By 2018, the church's televised services were drawing an estimated 10 million viewers every week. This surge in popularity not only transformed Lakewood into one of the largest churches in America, but also positioned its senior pastor, Joel Osteen, as a household name in Christian circles worldwide. During this time, Joel Osteen published several best-selling books, including How to Become a Better You, 7 Keys to Improving Your Life Every Day. These works further amplified his influence, appealing to millions seeking inspiration and practical advice. In January 2007, the church report named Joel Osteen the most influential Christian in America, surpassing other iconic leaders like Billy Graham. Yet, Joel's rise to prominence was not without challenges or criticism, both from within and outside the faith community. Joel himself admits that the transition into his father's role as Lakewood's senior pastor wasn't easy. He recalls feeling concerned that Lakewood's congregants might not embrace his preaching style. Compared to his father, John Osteen, Joel's approach was softer and less fiery. John, raised as a Southern Baptist, had a more traditional style of preaching that resonated deeply with many. For the first 6 months of 1999, Joel tried to imitate his father's method, feeling the weight of expectation. However, over time, he realized that authenticity was key to connecting with his audience. This pivotal shift came after reading Acts 13:36, which speaks about David fulfilling God's purpose for his life in his own generation. Inspired by this, Joel decided to forge a new path, one that reflected his unique voice and perspective. Joel Osteen's teaching style is distinct, earning him the nickname, the Smiling Preacher. As an affable, youthful-looking figure, Joel avoids dense theological concepts in his sermons. Instead, he focuses on delivering simple, uplifting messages. Central to his preaching is the idea that God desires for everyone to live a better life. This message of hope and positivity has struck a deep chord with millions, resonating with those seeking encouragement in a complex and often discouraging world. However, this same approach has drawn sharp criticism from theologians and religious leaders who view it as overly simplistic or lacking doctrinal depth. Many critics accuse Joel Osteen of promoting the prosperity gospel, a theology that emphasizes faith as a pathway to material wealth and success. Detractors argue that this message distorts Christianity's core teachings, prioritizing personal gain over spiritual growth. Within Protestant and Catholic circles, critics of the prosperity gospel highlight its transactional model of faith, suggesting that blessings are earned through giving or belief, and its emphasis on financial prosperity. This has led to concerns that such teachings might exploit vulnerable individuals, particularly the poor or emotionally distressed, by implying that their misfortunes result from a lack of faith. The scrutiny hasn't been limited to Joel Osteen's sermons. His and his wife Victoria's lifestyle has also been a subject of public debate. Victoria Osteen, who has been married to Joel for more than 30 years, plays a significant role as Lakewood's co-pastor. The couple's love story began in an unexpected way. According to reports, Joel first met Victoria when he walked into her mother's jewelry store to purchase a watch battery. Shortly after, they began dating and married 2 years later, on April 4, 1987. Together, they have 2 children, Jonathan and Alexandra, and have built a life that is as public as it is private. However, Victoria Osteen's reputation faced a serious challenge in 2008 when she was accused of assaulting a flight attendant. The incident reportedly occurred during a 2005 flight from Texas to Colorado. According to Sharon Brown, a Continental Airlines employee, Victoria became verbally and physically abusive when a spill on her armrest wasn't cleaned quickly enough. Brown alleged that Victoria threw her against a bathroom door, elbowed her in the chest, and even attempted to enter the cockpit during the altercation. Brown claimed she remained courteous throughout the ordeal and sought 10% of Victoria's estimated $100 million net worth in punitive damages. The incident caused significant media attention, with conflicting accounts emerging. According to reports, the disagreement delayed the flight and led to Joel and Victoria being escorted off the plane. One witness alleged that Victoria's behavior was dismissive toward the flight attendants, possibly motivated by racial bias, as they were black. However, both Joel and Victoria testified in court, vehemently denying any physical altercation. After a 2-hour jury deliberation, Victoria was found innocent of the charges. However, she was fined $3,000 for interfering with a crew member, a relatively minor penalty given the serious accusations. Despite these controversies, Joel Osteen remains a polarizing, yet undeniably influential figure in modern Christianity. His messages of hope, resilience, and faith continue to inspire millions, while his critics challenge the theological foundation of his teachings. Whether one views him as a beacon of positivity or a symbol of diluted faith, Joel Osteen's impact on the global Christian community is undeniable. A shocking and heartbreaking incident has sent shockwaves through a congregation and the wider community. What happened at Lakewood Church on that tragic day? Stay with us as we delve into the details of a devastating shooting that unfolded on February 11, 2024. Witnesses at Lakewood Church recalled hearing multiple gunshots around 2 p.m., just as the Spanish language service was beginning. Chaos erupted as an unknown woman entered the church and threatened that she had a bomb in her backpack. Authorities later confirmed that no bomb was found, but the scene quickly escalated. The woman sprayed a mysterious substance onto the floor before firing her weapon, hitting a 47-year-old man in the leg and leaving him wounded. Two off-duty officers, who were serving as security for the church, immediately sprang into action. Tragically, the confrontation turned deadly. The woman raised an AR-15 toward the officers, prompting them to fire. She was killed during the exchange of gunfire, but the chaos didn't end there. Her 7-year-old son, who was with her at the time, was also struck during the exchange. The boy was rushed to Texas Children's Hospital in critical condition. The entire ordeal unfolded in under 5 minutes. Reports of a possible second shooter caused widespread panic among Houston residents, leading authorities to take no chances. Businesses in the nearby commercial district were evacuated as police worked to ensure public safety. After an intense investigation, police confirmed there was no second shooter, putting the city's fears to rest. The aftermath of the shooting revealed the identities of those involved. The 47-year-old man who had been wounded was treated and released from the hospital by February 12th. However, the young boy's injuries were far more severe. Doctors performed emergency surgery to remove part of the frontal lobe of his brain, leaving his prognosis uncertain. The shooter was later identified as 36-year-old Janess Ivonne Moreno, a resident of Conroe, Texas. Details about Moreno's past painted a tragic picture. She had a documented criminal record, as well as a history of mental health struggles. Her ex-mother-in-law, Carranza, revealed that Moreno suffered from schizophrenia, which often caused her to become violent. Carranza emphasized the need for a better collaborative response between mental health services and law enforcement, something she believed had been lacking for years. While no clear motive was identified for the shooting, investigators uncovered disturbing clues. Moreno's AR-15 rifle was adorned with a Palestine sticker, and anti-Semitic writings were reportedly found in her possession. These details raised questions, but no definitive answers were provided. In response to the tragedy, Lakewood Church issued a heartfelt statement asking the community to come together in prayer. Joel Osteen, the church's well-known pastor, expressed his deep sorrow over the incident. "Of course, we're devastated," Osteen said. "We don't understand why these things happen, but we're going to pray for the little boy, the lady who passed away, and the other gentleman. We're going to stay strong and continue to move forward." Osteen later took to social media to address his followers, sharing his heartbreak with his 10 million subscribers on X, formerly Twitter. "Our church community is devastated," he wrote. "We ask for prayers and support as we navigate this difficult time." The tragedy has not only shaken the Lakewood Church community, but has also brought national attention to the resilience of faith communities in the face of unimaginable loss. As the church continues to heal, this event has pushed Joel Osteen to the forefront of broader conversations about faith, mental health, and the role of the church in modern society. The shooting has also reignited debates surrounding controversial issues tied to Osteen's leadership and ministry. Throughout his career, Joel Osteen has deliberately avoided addressing highly divisive topics such as abortion, politics, and gay marriage. Despite this, he has not been immune to criticism and controversy. Osteen's approach has often left people divided, especially when it comes to his comments on homosexuality. While he has stated that homosexuality is not God's best, based on his interpretation of Scripture, Osteen has emphasized that gay people are welcome in his church without judgment. In interviews, Osteen has repeatedly been asked to clarify his stance on whether God approves of homosexuality. While he affirms that homosexuality is a sin, according to his reading of the Bible, he also argues that the church has sometimes become too focused on single issues, neglecting broader aspects of faith and ministry. Critics, however, see his reluctance to take a firmer stand as problematic, claiming it has led to confusion among his followers. This tension highlights a broader challenge for leaders like Osteen, who seek to balance biblical teachings with the complexities of modern society. For some, his nuanced approach is a sign of compassion and inclusivity. For others, it reflects an unwillingness to fully confront the tensions between Scripture and contemporary culture. As we reflect on the tragic events at Lakewood Church and the conversations they have sparked, we are reminded of the power of faith, the challenges of leadership, and the enduring hope that communities can find in moments of darkness. This devastating event has tested the strength of the Lakewood congregation and its pastor, but it has also sparked deeper questions about the role of faith in a world that is often unpredictable and fractured. What does this mean for the future of Lakewood Church? And how will this tragedy shape the broader conversations around faith, mental health, and social responsibility? Stay tuned as we explore these pressing issues further. Osteen's approach to societal values and LGBTQ issues has sparked intense debate among both critics and supporters. Some argue that while his welcoming rhetoric is inclusive, it ultimately falls short because it stops short of fully affirming and supporting LGBTQ relationships and marriage equality. This perceived reluctance leaves many marginalized individuals feeling uncertain about their place within the church, leading to a deep sense of exclusion and self-doubt. For those seeking full inclusion within Christian spaces, this ambivalence can be painful. On the other hand, conservative Christians take issue with Osteen's softened stance. They contend that it compromises biblical authority and undermines traditional Christian values. By appearing to downplay the Bible's condemnation of homosexuality, critics argue that Osteen prioritizes cultural relevance over faithfulness to Scripture. This tension highlights the ongoing divide between a desire for modern inclusivity and the adherence to long-standing theological principles. But these debates surrounding Joel Osteen are far from the only controversies tied to his ministry. A different storm of criticism arose in 2014, this time directed at his wife, Victoria Osteen. During a sermon, Victoria made statements that drew harsh rebuke from fellow Christians. She told the congregation that Christianity is ultimately about selfish happiness, suggesting that people should obey God because it would make them happy. Standing beside her, Joel smiled as Victoria continued, saying, "When you come to church, when you worship Him, you're not doing it for God, really. You're doing it for yourself because that's what makes God happy." These comments were slammed by Christian writers, including Matt Moore of the Christian Post, who labeled Victoria's statements as heretical and vulgar abominations. He argued that such a perspective, which positions personal happiness as the ultimate goal of worship, is rooted in idolatry of the self and reflects a pagan mindset. Christianity, he countered, utterly rejects the notion that virtuous behavior should be motivated by personal gain or pleasure. Instead, the faith emphasizes the importance of sin, duty, and obedience, teaching that Christianity is a faith for warriors and martyrs, those willing to sacrifice for a higher calling, not for personal comfort. Albert Mohler Jr., president of the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, also criticized Victoria's remarks. He pointed out that Christian doctrine does not promise earthly wealth or health, nor does it center on achieving personal happiness. Instead, its fundamental concern is overcoming sin and living in obedience to God. Victoria's sermon, he noted, reflected what some have described as a me-centered church, a growing phenomenon criticized for prioritizing self-gratification over spiritual truths. Joel Osteen himself has not been immune to similar controversies. In 2011, he appeared on Piers Morgan Tonight and made a statement that sparked widespread debate. He claimed that Mormons are Christians, saying, "I believe that Mormons are Christians. I don't think it's that big of an issue. We're all trying to find the same God." This comment provoked a strong backlash from both evangelical Christians and Mormon scholars. Prominent evangelical leaders like John MacArthur and Albert Mohler publicly criticized Osteen, arguing that the theological distinctions of Mormonism cannot be reconciled with traditional Christianity. Others rebuked Osteen for undermining the authority of the Bible, the cornerstone of Christian doctrine. This wasn't the last time Osteen faced significant public scrutiny. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, his church came under fire for receiving $4.4 million in Federal Paycheck Protection Program (PPP) loans. While the church claimed the funds were used to protect 370 jobs, critics questioned the legitimacy of this claim, as no specific job list was ever confirmed. Although Osteen denied personally taking any funds from the CARES Act, data from the United States Small Business Administration revealed that Lakewood Church indeed received the full $4.4 million. And the controversies don't stop there. Joel Osteen faced another wave of criticism back in 2017 during Hurricane Harvey. The devastating storm left thousands of Texans displaced, and many places of worship opened their doors to shelter victims. However, Osteen's Lakewood Church, a 16,000-seat megachurch in Houston, initially did not. Social media platforms erupted with outrage as many accused the church of failing to embody the Christian values of hospitality and service. Although the church later opened its doors to hurricane victims, the delayed response left a lasting stain on Osteen's reputation, with many questioning his commitment to serving the community in times of crisis. These moments of controversy underscore the complexities of Joel and Victoria Osteen's ministry. While they have undoubtedly reached millions with their messages of hope and positivity, critics continue to question whether their brand of Christianity prioritizes comfort over conviction. How do you reconcile the call to live faithfully with the pressures of leading a global, high-profile ministry? This is a question that remains at the heart of their public and spiritual journey. Lakewood Church faced intense criticism for its delayed response in offering aid to displaced individuals during a crisis. Initially, the church representatives claimed their facility had sustained damage, which allegedly justified why it had not been opened as a shelter. However, Joel Osteen himself disputed this claim, stating that the church would only open its doors when other shelters were at capacity. It wasn't until August 28 that the Lakewood Church finally began operating as a temporary shelter. But by then, the backlash on social media was already widespread. Another point of controversy surrounding Joel Osteen is his luxurious lifestyle and the rumors about his ownership of a private jet. As a prominent televangelist, Joel's life is constantly under public scrutiny, with many questioning how he funds his personal expenses, especially his mode of transportation. While the Lakewood Church has not officially confirmed the rumors about the jet, Joel's reported use of a private aircraft has fueled heated debates. Critics argue that such extravagance conflicts with Christian teachings on humility and service, portraying a lifestyle far removed from the struggles of the average person. Supporters, on the other hand, defend him, claiming that the jet is a necessary tool for his global travel schedule, which enables him to reach millions of followers worldwide. This rumored ownership of a private jet is only one aspect of the criticism Joel has faced. Recently, he encountered significant backlash on social media after posting about the value of appreciating life's simple blessings. On X, formerly Twitter, Joel wrote, "It's the simple things in life that bring us the most joy. You may not have a lot of resources, but if you have family, you're blessed. If you have your health, you're blessed. If you can look up at the stars at night, you're blessed." While the post garnered over 5,000 likes and many supportive comments, it also attracted fierce criticism. Many users pointed out the perceived irony of such a statement coming from someone with immense wealth, including multi-million-dollar mansions, luxury cars, and, allegedly, a $350,000 Ferrari. The post ignited widespread criticism online, with detractors accusing Joel of being out of touch with the daily struggles of ordinary people. One user shared photos purportedly showing Joel's opulent mansions, captioning them with sarcastic remarks such as, "The simple things in life? Give me a break." In response to the backlash, Joel stated that he refuses to give his critics any attention, emphasizing that his faith and positive outlook shield him from negativity. Joel and his wife, Victoria Osteen, live in a River Oaks mansion, appraised at over $12 million, further fueling public fascination and criticism of their wealth. Joel is one of the richest pastors in the world, amassing his fortune from various sources, including book sales, endorsement deals, media appearances, and significant investments in real estate. Interestingly, Joel has opted not to take the $200,000 annual salary he is entitled to as the senior pastor of Lakewood Church. Instead, he has built his estimated net worth of $100 million, primarily through his entrepreneurial ventures and motivational work. Despite his critics, Joel's journey from humble beginnings to becoming a global religious leader offers a unique perspective on the intersection of faith, media, and influence. Born without formal theological training and with little experience in preaching, Joel initially gained knowledge by observing his father, John Osteen, who founded Lakewood Church in 1959. Under Joel's leadership, the church has grown from a modest congregation meeting in an abandoned feed store to a major center of worship in Houston, Texas, with a weekly attendance of tens of thousands. Joel Osteen is also known as one of the key proponents of the prosperity gospel, which teaches that God desires his followers to be healthy, wealthy, and successful. This belief system has resonated with millions, particularly through Joel's emphasis on positive thinking, motivational messaging, and relatable preaching style. Critics of the prosperity gospel argue that it oversimplifies Christian teachings and risks reducing faith to material gain. Supporters, however, view it as a message of hope and empowerment. Joel's rise to prominence highlights the powerful role of media in shaping religious influence. Through televised sermons, social media, books, and live events, he has reached audiences far beyond the walls of Lakewood Church. Whether you admire his message or question his methods, there's no denying the significant impact Joel Osteen has had on modern Christianity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the next video on your screen for more engaging content.